Why aren't you doing what you want? Is it because you're not using your brain at its full potential? The brain is a very complex organ in our body, and we have studied it for centuries, and we are still learning more of its secrets. The three main large parts of the brain are cerebellum, cerebellum, and the brainstem. Our brain controls functions that we don't even think about, like our heartbeat, keeping our blood pumping, and our digestive system that works so that we can get nutrients from food, our lungs allowing us to breathe. The brain can store all the information we gather by using our five senses: sight, smell, touch, tasting, and hearing. That's why you can remember tastes like your mom's orange cake. Yum. Emotions, complex movements like dancing and processing take part in the cerebellum. This is the largest part of your brain and contains your left brain and your right brain. Cerebellum handles larger coordination skills so that we can sit, stand, walk, and adjust our balance, and this also controls our speech. The brain stem is the base of the brain. This is attached to our spinal cord. Without it, we wouldn't move at all. It also controls heart rate, breathing, and swallowing. Brain stem is also what tells you that we are sleepy or that it's time to be awake. Talking about multitasking, I love that. A person's brain determines how they experience the world around them. The brain weighs about 3 pounds and contains around 100 billion neurons, cells that carry information. Before going into details, do you believe that humans only use 10% of their brain? This is a myth and comes from a confusion. The brain is always active. It makes a bit more sense to say that we use 100% of the brain all the time, but even this is also misleading. You see, both the 10% and the 100% estimates are not even wrong. We use virtually every part of the brain. Most of the brain is active almost all the time. In fact, the 10% figure is a useful reference point for understanding how your brain works and for conceptualizing the actual pattern of activity happening in your head. Now, it is probably true that over time we use more than just 10% of the neurons in our head. However, the total is probably well short of the 100%. Your brain is 10% neurons and 90% glial cells. There are different types of neurons, each having different functions, but in general, the functions of neuron is to process and transmit information. Glial cells provide support and insulation to the neuron. Here is how you can improve your brain function. First is by exercising regularly. Regular exercise reduces the risk of health problems that may lead to dementia. Walking for 30 minutes a day can be enough to reduce the risk of brain functions declining. Other inexpensive options include bike riding, jogging, and swimming. Second, having a good diet. Fruit and vegetables with dark skin. Some are rich in vitamin E, such as spinach, broccoli, and blueberries. Others are rich in beta-carotene, including red peppers and sweet potatoes. Vitamin A and beta-carotenes promote brain health. Third is by keeping the brain active. The more a person uses the brain, the better their mental functions become. For this reason, brain training exercises are a good way to maintain overall brain health. A recent study conducted over 10 years found that the people who use brain training exercise reduce the risk of dementia by 29%. So what if, even though I don't know why you would want to do that, could use full capacity of your brain? You see, the exact percentage we are using is different from person to person, but using 100% of the brain could feed many emotions like sadness, happiness, fear, annoyingness, illness, desire, angriness, joy, and many more. Using all your brain at the same time would require just about all the blood circulation you have, which would rob other organs of what they need. The body would experience lack of oxygen. This means that different parts of the body would start to shut down in priority order. Our neuron would be firing all the time. In other words, we would be processing sight, smell, taste, and sound at a super high speed, which means that we'll be processing and analyzing constantly. Do you need all that? Me? No, thanks. I'm fine. Remember, we use most of our brain all the time, but not every part all the time. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give a like and don't forget to subscribe for more videos every week. Take care and stay safe.